11th grade math. How do I go about solving this? So here we have this exponential equation and we have like 4 terms. And it also says even AI can't help me with this one. Let's have a look. So we see the bases are 2 and 3. Maybe we will put them together first and see how it goes. So I'm going to bring this term to the other side. So keep this right here. 2x square minus 1, like this is in the power, and then plus 2 to the x squared plus 2 power. Okay. And then I will move this to the other side. So that becomes 3x squared minus 1 and plus 3 to the x. Okay. And now we can use the rule of exponent to kind of simplify this a little bit. So this right here is 2 to the x squared times 2 to the negative 1. Similarly, 2 to the x squared times 2 to the 2. Because remember, when we multiply two things with the same base, we just combine the exponents. So x squared plus 2. And then we do the rest right here. So 3x squared times 3 to the negative 1 plus 3 to the x. Okay. Okay, this thing right here is 1/2. And then we have 2 to the x squared. And this thing right here is 4. And then this is multiplying, and then x squared. And 3 to the negative 1, you bring the 3 down, so it's 1/3. And 3x squared plus 3 to the x. And on the left-hand side, it looks okay because 1/2 plus 4. This and that can be combined, get a common denominator. So a over 2 plus 1/2 is 9 over 2, and then times 2 to the x to the second. So all this right here becomes just 9 over 2 times 2 to the x to the second power. Okay, but the problem now is like, what do we even do with this? I think if this is the question, you cannot really continue because you cannot factor anything, you can combine terms or whatnot. You really cannot do anything, seriously, because the exponents are different, and not only you have this, but the left-hand side is like with a different base with the exponential part. I don't think you can continue with this with like simple algebra way. You will have to do some calculus numerical approach in order to get an approximation, or maybe you have to use a graphing calculator to get a approximated solution. You graph this equation, y equals this, and you graph y equals this, and then look for the intersection. So yeah, I suspect, and as many comments also pointed out in the original post, that there's a typo, because notice that everybody here is x squared except for this one. So let's just take a look. What if we have 3x to the second power, right? It's not that I'm just changing the question to make the question easier. It's just that we highly suspect that question is actually just a typo, right? Anyways, all this and then square, all this and then square. Now we are talking. So this is 1/3 and this is 1. Yeah, because it's like 1 times that. So combine 1/3 and 1. This is a 3 over 3. So we have 4 over 3. And then we have 3x to the second power. Now, what we are going to do next is I'm going to put all the fractions on one side and then divide this to the other. So check this out. I will have 2 to the x squared divided by this thing right here, 3 to the x squared. I divide this to both sides. And then I'm going to multiply its reciprocal. Keep this, 4 over 3, and multiply by 2 over 9 to both sides. So 2 over 9, like this. Okay, and then we will see this right here, because they both have x to the second power now, we can look at this as 2 over 3 raised to the x squared power. And then on the right hand side, that's 8, and that's 27. 27. Okay, and in fact, this is quite nice because if you look at this, this is 2 to the third power, and then this is 3 to the third power. So that's 2 over 3 to the third power. And have a look. The base are the same now, 2 over 3, 2 over 3. So let me just make it clear. We have 2 over 3 x squared. That's equal to this, which is the result of that, 2 over 3 to the third power. Now here's the thing, yo. If the base is not 1, if the base right here is legitimate, like 2 over 3 is okay. When we have two exponential parts with the same base being equal to each other, when the base is not 1, then we can say this and that are equal, because the exponential function is 1 to 1, right? Even when we have 2 over 3 for the base. So that means we must have x squared being equal to 3. So that means take the square root to both sides and know that x is equal to plus or minus square root of 3. Much better in my opinion. So maybe they just forgot the 2 right there. Alright, that's it.